Greetings, everyone. This is Lamar Phillips talking about writing across the curriculum. And of course, I'm going to choose music. So I want to get straight to it and show you some of the ways that I've incorporated that and I think will be helpful on many different levels. So to get directly to it, here's an example. This is basically, although it says music, it's really like music and theater at the same time, and it flows into being able to speak, because we know that reading and writing go along with listening and speaking. So I'll just jump right into it and explain as I go. Excuse me. This is part of a music review called My Planet, Your Planet, and it's based on science, but ecology as well.
Hey, I'm living green, you know what I mean. I like when my air and my water are clean. Hey, I gotta say, I'm starting each day by making a choice to be living this way.
Now I'm going to fast forward a little bit through this.
And it is dear, it's time to.
So we could hear more of the music, but I want you to take a look at the lyrics. So as you can tell from some of them, I'll be quiet for just a second. So you can see we're talking about being in balance. And this particular song can go many ways. Living here in Michigan, we deal with the Flint water crisis. We deal with plastic in the environment and things like that. But you can also see when you talk about being in harmony, we could talk even about how people treat each other these days. About all the planet being one. So there's many different directions you can go with this. So I use this kind of as a writing prompt as well. Often I will not show the lyrics, but instead let the students listen and just let them garner their own understanding based on what is inside. And you see, there's a lot of responsibilities that students take and try to get other people to take along the way as well. So that's one portion of this. I'm going to move right on to another. The song that follows that more is used for smaller students, and you can tell by seeing the print. Again, I let them listen first, but when they do see the lyrics, I let them talk about them, write about them, tell them what they mean, and they may use pictures for mostly to agree with. And so I'll fast forward. Now I can go forward, but I'll tell you about this. They talk a lot about 6 different ways to conserve energy and to stay green, but it also talks a lot about community. So tell your friends and family, tell your neighbors too. So that's a different kind of conversation we'd have. So whether young or old, it would be a writing prompt to include. Now this next one is about Earthlings Unite. It has a different flavor altogether.
Living
So far, just with the imagery alone, you see how they're multicolored hands all working together, even touching each other. This is probably pre-corona, but and prior to that, you saw the law of supply and demand, give and take. So there are a lot of conversations that could take place here. And our question is, how do we share this with students who have disabilities? Well, if they have a reading disability, or a writing disability, the conversation alone, they can get credit for that, being able to express themselves. And then to the degree that they can, based on what the IEP says, you challenge them to write on that level. I have a student now who's a junior in high school, but does math and reading respectively on the 4th and 5th grade level. I have to find ways to challenge her and stretch her, but not overwhelm her. So that's one of the ways we do this. I'm going to move forward, and you see, it's talking about the use of time. And normally, when you see images like this, you see that the hands are kind of battered and bruised a little bit, probably playing in the dirt, planting. So it's all about conservation. But again, this conversation can be more than about recycling and things of that nature. It can be about how people get along. The older the students are, the more leeway there is with that. Excuse me. I apologize. So the next one on this, and I'll be very brief with this one, called Tomorrow Needs Us. It begins saying, I am just one person, but I know it will matter. I know it matters that I make a difference, that I make a change. And then it goes to, we are just, we are just one person, meaning each one of us. And it's a challenge to each student.
But I know that it will matter when I try to make the changes that I know could help this world. Whoa.
And it goes on to say, there is life on earth. Well, let's try to keep it that way. Tomorrow needs us. There's so much to do, and it's in harmony. So I can go on, but with this, it's a very rich harmony, and I try to get them to express that as well. There's one more song, and then I'm going to show you how we actually wrap it up. Excuse me. You see here where it says dialogue connects the songs. So because the dialogue can actually be recorded and the students can listen to it, they can follow along as they read, and I can challenge them they can read the dialogue and figure out what's going on in between songs, and each song connects to something that's said and vice versa. So they can act it out, they can listen, they can move around, but more importantly, I'm always challenging them to speak and then write about what they're doing. And on any level that they happen to be able to do it, they may make a picture and then tell me more about the picture, or just describe the drawings or things of that nature. So on that note, this is a conversation about figurative language. It's a conversation about descriptive writing. It's a conversation about persuasive arguments, things of that nature. And then the last one here about being agents of change. And I'll just pause right there. Very Disney-ish in the way that goes. Excuse me. But it is effective, and it is powerful the way that they use that. There's one thing I wanted to add here. The connection with social studies, which is I do that a lot. We just talked about agents of change in that music. And then we come right back around and then talk about agents. I won't go into details. We'll go right back around and talk about agents of change on Earth. over time, talking about different figures in history, who did what, how it had an effect on the planet, and things of that nature. So I see where music can do that across the curriculum in many ways. And here is one, I don't know if you can see that. I'm unshare and share again. One other way I want to share here via Teams. This is the actual assignment I have my students do. If you can see the questioning here, I have them, now this is the writing they actually done. How did they describe? What have you heard? Why were they singing this way? Why were the instruments used? How were they used? Describe it in great detail. What's the structure, the climax, all of these type of things. And of course, if someone is challenged, they may not be able to say everything, but this is how they learn. I prompt them to understand the vocabulary in music. And then a lot of the vocabulary in music, the way it's described, goes right around with language arts. There's poetry, there's literary works. They're constructed the same way. One extra thing I had the students though, I won't read it to you, but I had the students decide how would they design their own program about recycling or things on the planet, or just getting along physically and mentally with others, and then teach it and produce it to younger students. Well, lo and behold, what was students, I will actually wind up recruiting other students from another grade level, and then they can actually participate. So we're going to actually teach leadership and life skills through this work, and they're writing it out to explain all of it, the rationale behind it, the directions for it, who does what, when, and where. And I think that's a great way to promote leadership and a great way to express creativity and also to do social commentary on things at the same time. So that's my way of sharing about writing across the curriculum through music. Thank you very much.